Okay, here's the rest of the video. I screwed up and pressed the wrong button. We got this thing plugged into an extension cord, which is less than optimal. You flip it on, right? Okay. It lit up. That's a good sign. I don't know what this min and max. I got to look at the book. I think it's power settings. I don't know. This is the feed rate. This controls your wire feed. So they said to put it up. Recommended wire speed. I'm looking at the thing now. 1.5. So it's like way down here. That's like for thin metal. Now I'm still gonna have to pulse it, but let's see when I hit this if it feeds. Oh crap. You see this thing's... Is that moving? I hear something moving. Oh, the inner one here, the silver one, look. There it goes. That's actually moving. I might have to tighten it down a little. But this one's not feeding. Maybe if I pull on the end of this thing, I can get it to feed better. I don't know what's going on with this. Am I in the right? It looks like it's correct. You can tighten this down a little more. See if that will push it. Okay, it fed some wire in, but it's not coming out here. I got to do the old-fashioned pull on this. I better shut it down first. Okay, so I pulled the tip right off of here with the pliers, and I can't get wire to come out. Let's see if it feeds. There we go. Good. You see that? So every time you press this, it's going to automatically give it a little more flux wire core. This is going to spark because we have the ground hooked up here, and then we're going to put the metal on this metal. I got to see. I might have to remove more paint than that. We're going to see. I haven't used this in a while, and I wasn't that good at it to begin with. I never remember this being amazing, this machine. I kind of like the stick. I was more comfortable with the stick welder, but maybe I just wasn't using this right, I'm hoping. Maybe it was malfunctioning. Now I know a little more about it, being that I took this apart here. You know, you have these tips. Maybe I can clean that tip out. I bought some new ones. You can get new tips for this. You can get new wire. All this stuff's right at Harbor Freight, luckily. Well, I still even have my helmet. Luckily, I found this handy. This one's lightweight. It's simple. It's really all you need. There are ones that do the solar panel. They darken automatically. I also have that type. I don't know. I don't know where I put it. I got to look for that. But look, here's all the welding. These are the contact tips. So instead of working on that one for however long it's going to take, I might as well just use a new one. I don't think these cost that much. I bought these the other week at Harbor Freight. But the other problem is, my other advice, which I'm kind of screwed over now because it's getting dark, but I have my torch on my phone here, my flashlight for the filming. If you do this in bright sunlight, you can actually see a little bit of what you're doing through that sunglass. So the sunnier the better if you want to do this with precision. Because once you look through there, you're just kind of guessing where the thing is. Where you can kind of lay it down, look. It has like a flip up, so you can flip it down when you're ready to weld. We might try a few spot welds tonight, and then depending how hard it is, we might do the rest of it in the morning. Let's see. First, I got to open this thing up and figure out if I can even get this to work. So I got a brand new tip in there. I think it was the .030 or 8 millimeter. This size right here. So on my welder, that looks like the thinnest. Oh, wait a minute. That's the steel thickness. but it's also the wire type. That's what this is. That's correct. This is made for that same size wire, but that's also how thick the steel would be, the thinnest steel. I think my steel's a little bit thicker than that. Recommended wire speed, probably around 16 gauge, would you say? Maybe you put it on 2. This kind of steel right here. Now, what I gotta do, I gotta be careful. If that touches, I don't know if it's only energized when you press the trigger, but I wanted to like try to, this is hard to do with one hand. I want to try to line this up. I thought I had it lined up a little better before. If I pop this out, it also depends. I have this on the grass, so it doesn't get scratched up. I have the ground clamp there. Let me try to line this up a little better. Let's just do a test. Is it live all the time? No, it's not. You see, when you press the trigger now, you see it comes out, but not only that, you're gonna see it will spark. Yup. That's a piece of the wire. There it goes again. Now when you do this, you really should cover your arms up. It makes a lot of ultraviolet light, hence the reason why you got to put on that face shield. I closed my eyes when I filmed that one. So, yeah, I might have to throw like a long sleeve shirt on. Alright guys, I found some long sleeves. I also found these pigskin gloves. I got them at Harbor Freight. This little thing is a cool little cutter. That would be great for cutting the wire. You see, I use this one here. You need like a little cutter sometimes for that wire. They say to trim it before you start. Have a little bit sticking out of the this thing here. You want to cut it. So the idea is you rest it on here, and then you just like you pull the trigger. Easier said than done. You can see how temperamental, like, you know, that one just like. So I laid this down as a weight. This part here I got pretty flush. What I want to do is tack weld it over here. Tack weld it first in a few spots. Then we'll try to do the full thing here. Do more of the welding. And I think, like, to start, I'm going to show you right now, I think you need to trim this thing. You know, trim it off here. Wait, trying to do it as maybe like that. I don't know. Something like that. Okay. Now this is going to be very hard because I got to put the helmet on and then flip it down when I'm ready to do this. Plus, I was hoping to film a little of it. I have a holder for my phone. I think I might be able to do it. If I don't, the other problem is how many sparks are going to fly. I'll film it for you guys. I may risk losing my phone. We'll try it. Let's see. Okay, we're going to try to tack weld it on the minimum power setting. Let's see if this even works. It's not going to be easy. This helmet, I think my welding helmet's bit the dust. It used to work better. It's like not adhering to my head right. It's really annoying. Okay, I jammed it on. Now the other thing is this even clean enough here to do the trick? Move the machine a little bit closer. Hopefully I don't. It doesn't give you much reach. The good part is that 110 machine, you can kind of move it around where you need it. Okay. Let's try like that Asian guy does. Actually, that's not bad. Maybe that copper tip helped from Harbor Freight. That might have helped. That is not bad. Let me do another one. Oh, that one burnt through. I should have quit while I was ahead. Now I got a big hole there. So you see how it works. Let me grab my phone, give you a close-up of what I did. The first one was perfect. That's what you gotta watch. Hey, it's not a phony channel, guys. Okay, the first one was fine. Now look what happened. What I might have to do is put like a piece of sheet metal over this and like tack it on and weld it, because how am I gonna fill that all in? It's gonna be very hard. But I'm gonna try to let's tack weld right along that line there, and we'll try to like line up this part and see if that works. Here, I'll put the phone right here. Maybe you guys can see it. It did hold. Look, it's holding it down there. The first weld I did, I got too cocky. Once I saw it weld like that, I was like, oh, let me just keep going. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can tack it. Like, right here, maybe. Now that could be because the, you know, it has some paint. Just gonna try to tack weld it. Did it hold? I think that held, actually. I think it did hold. This isn't bad, half bad. I see though, when it stops, you wanna like trim off just a hair. That's actually not bad. Let's tack it right here. I can even hold the metal in the right place with the torch. Oh shit. Something happened there. I don't know if I did it right. Oh, it made a hole in there. Oh boy. Now when I have a barbecue, everyone's gonna come to my yard and they'll be getting like metal pieces in their foot. They'll be like, "What's going on with your place?" Let's try it. There we go. Okay, you gotta do spot welding. That's the whole trick with this. It's very fine welding. That's what you got to do. Stitch it. Oh shit. Just happened there. There we go. Spot weld it. You know. That's how to do it. Spot weld it. Yeah, that almost, did that make a hole? I think it did almost. Oh boy. See if I can almost like fill that in maybe. Now then you gotta trim it. That's the whole thing with this. And the metal isn't really cleaned up that well. Whoa. Yeah, I just kicked my helmet out. Oh. Yeah, this is tough to do. I mean, it put it back in a good spot. Like now, you could probably use like epoxy on this if you wanted to. I'll show you what it looks like here. You see, those are good, but if you do it just a little too much, it will make a hole in there. This one here, that's when I was fooling around back there. So I gotta really like maybe wire brush this thing with a wire brush, get it down to metal. I don't know. Keep tacking it, try tacking it more. Maybe put a little piece of sheet metal over that big hole. There. I'm gonna stop the camera, try to clean this up more, and I'll show you how it's coming.